What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Today, we're going to be talking about a few different things in the crypto space. A lot's going on right now. One of the main things is I know that most people are sort of getting slaughtered in the crypto space, as well as just the stock market in general. There really hasn't been any good performing coins, with the exception of a couple for the past 30 days. However, that does mean that you should be taking a closer look at some of the stuff that's doing good relatively, not necessarily going up in price value, but in development and potential. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at a few things that have caught my attention for the most part, even though they're not like mooning at the current moment, but they could in the future. So the first one that we're going to look at, and this is going to be a quick overview, hopefully I'll do a full overview later. This is called Step.app. Now the native token for this is called FitFi. Now if you are a Patreon, I've already talked about all this stuff already, so we'll talk more about Patreon at the end of this video. But to recap what Step.app is a competitor to Stepin, or the GMT token, as you guys might have seen over the past couple of weeks. I mean, like I said, there's really only been 2 or 3 tokens that have been performing well, and GMT, or the Stepin token, is one of them. Now, if you guys are unaware of what GMT and Stepin is, it is Fit Finance, or move to earn type of token, and it's sort of just an evolution of what NFTs can do, and I like these for a lot of different reasons, but I'll talk more about that when I make my full review video of Step.app. But the gist of it is you can make money from moving. So if you're playing this sort of realistic NFT game that you actually have to do in real life, you have to move around in real life, you can actually make a lot of money from doing it if you set your system up correctly. Now that's with Stepin. With Step.app, it's supposed to be a competitor. However, it's not really entirely known how strong of a competitor they're going to be, because there's a lot of details that aren't fully fleshed out, and they're sort of slowly releasing what this thing can do over time. It's giving me more confidence, it's giving other people more confidence. So we're going to look at 2 of those things right now. The first one, actually, I don't know if I have their Twitter up right here, so let me see if I can get to their Twitter on the bottom of the page while I'm talking. But the first thing is that they are coming out with their app soon. So they're going to be releasing their app. They did release their Fit Finance token on different exchanges, so you can actually purchase the Fit Finance token and be prepared to get a whitelist spot in their app. Now, if you want to jump in on this early, what you have to do is go to their website, scroll down to the bottom, and enter your email right here. And of course, follow their Discord, follow their Twitter, so you guys can get the latest information on everything for this particular app. So this is the other thing right here. They actually do have some partnerships, so that's a big thing. A lot of these like copycat competitors can just be that. They're copycat competitors with no real value behind them. So before I really go too heavy into this for the long term, I like to see if they're actually coming out with stuff to be a true competitor, and this is one of them. Right now they have a partnership with Untold Festival. So basically, like I said before, with the app, if you're moving around, if you're walking, if you're running, you can make money from doing that. And again, I'll go into more detail about how that works later. But by partnering with the Untold Festival, they're actually going to be incentivizing people dancing. So the more that you dance, you can actually earn. So dance to earn with the Step Protocol app. So more on this later. Like I said, I really have to wait until a few more things come out before I can give you guys a lowdown on this, to make sure that it's really kind of what it's really going to live up to what people are thinking it's going to live up to. So that's Step.app. Keep it on your radar. The next thing that we can talk about is Etherorcs, and I'll go over this really quickly. Etherorcs has been performing really well since the get-go. Their community has been really strong, and their development has been really strong too. Now, I mentioned this again in my Patreon. I know that Bored Ape Yacht Club and the Ape Coin and just, your top 1 or 2 NFTs have really dominated the NFT space in terms of mainstream media covering it, and just mainstream people doing things with it. But I do think in the future, they will, like, unless Yuga Labs can really just innovate like crazy, beyond the hype of the numbers of the apes being so incredibly expensive. If they can really use that money to make a true metaverse where people actually are interested in playing in it, that's going to be one thing. But I do think that a lot of these lesser NFTs that people don't really pay too much attention to, they're developing stuff on the back end, and they're actually already making things that are pretty fun to play as is. Etherorcs is one of them, so I'll play this while I'm kind of talking. This too. This is their trailer for what's coming out with Etherorcs. It's sort of kind of a throwback to the old school RPGs, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty fun, and the way that they've kind of upgraded this game from the start, I'm really impressed with a lot more compared to the other general profile picture NFTs, and it gives you an idea of where these NFTs can go in the future. Now, does that mean that Etherorc is going to become the next Bored Ape Yacht Club? I doubt it. Honestly, what really matters with anything in terms of price, especially in this beginning phase, is hype. And if it doesn't have hype, it just won't get to that price level. But in the meantime, it's still important to have these tokens develop, a strong base, a strong community, a strong way of actually being fun and working. And I do think, and maybe I'm alone on this, I do think that fundamentals will pay off in the long run if you're patient and you're in a project that's doing really, really good stuff behind the scenes. Wait a couple months, maybe even a couple years, and these are the projects that are going to grow significantly and keep and retain that value. Um, of course, that's just my opinion. I've been proven wrong plenty of times before. I mean, just look at your top 50 coins. You have a lot of meme coins up there that don't do much besides be popular. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm still excited about Etherworks, and it's still doing really well in terms of the price in general. So that is that. And then the final thing we can kind of cover and end off on talking about in this video is Sphere Finance. Again, I talked about this in my Patreon as well. They released their version 2 token earlier today. So again, this is another one where I'm waiting for a little bit more of the details to be ironed out before I cover it in a video. But you guys get a little bit of a preview teaser right here. This is one that I'm excited about. This is a token that is designed to go down in value, so that's something that I think scares a lot of people away from it. They see that it's down 12% today, it's down 12% tomorrow. That's not really a big deal when you have a gigantic APY that sort of gives you ROI in a short amount of time. So it's interesting the way that Sphere Finance is put together, and hopefully when I do a video covering it, you guys will understand it a little bit more. But of course, you guys are smart. You guys can do your own research before then. So follow their Twitter, follow their Discord, read their docs. I would recommend reading through this entire thing, and you'll really get a better understanding on how Sphere Finance works. But as I continue to understand version 2 over the next couple days, and as other people do, hopefully I'll give you guys a full overview on what's happening with this behind the scenes. And then finally, as a bonus, you guys, I'm sure, have been, if you've been in crypto in the past couple days, you've seen ApeCoin take off like crazy. Now, this is something that I did predict was going to happen when it first came out. I mean, I made a video about it a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago when it first launched, and it's pretty much doing exactly that. It's getting close to the top 20. It has about $7 billion in volume today. But do be careful because, I mean, all great things do come to an end eventually. One of the reasons why the Bored Ape Yacht Club token, or the Ape token, ApeCoin, is pumping so much, it's not just because it's tied to Bored Ape Yacht Club, but it's because they're supposed to be dropping this other side metaverse, and you're supposed to be able to purchase land with this. So if you're unaware, if you haven't been following it, This is the lowdown. If you already know about it, you can kind of just click off the video now. It's kind of the end. But if you're not in the know, what the ape coin is going to do, they're going to require you to have a certain amount of ape coins. I think it's like 350, something like that, about $6,000 at the current value of ape coin worth of ape coins are required to get some of this land in this new metaverse. And this metaverse is being developed by the people that make Bored Ape Yacht Club. So honestly, it doesn't matter more about the details beyond that. What really matters is, like I said, the hype. And these guys, they definitely have the hype, so they can put a piece of garbage on the NFT space and people will buy it like crazy. But nonetheless, that's one of the reasons why the ApeCoin has gone up so much. And I do believe that all things do get priced in. Nothing really works the way that you want it to. So at the current price, like I think it's about $22 right now, you might want to be careful because this thing is supposed to launch, I think, within the next 24 hours. So when it does get launched, I do personally expect the price of the token to kind of tank temporarily. And then we'll see what happens as the other side launches and as the other side continues, as the land continues. We might have some more opportunities there with the NFT or with the ApeCoin. But that's just a little bonus information, some thoughts right there. That's everything for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And again, if you're a member of my Patreon, you already got all of this information. So I'm trying to release more value on that Patreon. So I'm posting more on there. I'm also doing another Patreon giveaway for I'm not supposed to say that because Patreon doesn't allow you to say that, but I'm doing another Patreon airdrop for the zombie token. So if you guys are a patron, make sure that you drop your Clayton/Ethereum address in my Patreon so that you guys can get that airdrop. I can only do it if I see two things: you're a patron and you leave your address on my Patreon, and number two, you have purchased some zombie tokens, because I can't airdrop you anything without you having a position in there. All right, that's everything for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.